Hi everyone, it's Derek from the Are You Ready podcast here, and this is my reaction video to the 2-1 home victory against Hearts today. Going into the game, obviously the 3 points were the imperative thing. Nothing less than that was going to be a disaster, and we also obviously wanted to see a reaction to the disgraceful performance that happened last weekend against Celtic. And obviously we got the 3 points, that's the main thing, and in large part I think we did get a reaction from the players. Certainly in the first half, in the first 25 minutes anyway, we seemed to be fighting for a lot more than we were in previous games. We were pressing, we weren't allowing Hearts a lot of time in the ball, and then we seemed to drop off. I've no idea why. We just seemed to stop playing that way, and it was telling on the park. I don't think Hearts got too much from that, mind you, but neither did we, and that was the obviously disappointing thing. And in the first half we never really created too much, and it's been a feature of our team is that we get to the final third and we seem to run out of ideas, and we never put their keeper under any pressure whatsoever. I don't remember any chances at all. Into the second half, and we certainly did come out all guns blazing, I felt, and proven that to be the case within a couple of minutes when we got the goal, and it was a fantastic goal all round. Good play down the left hand side by Murphy, I think it was. Got the ball into the box by Candeias, had some great skill in the box to keep the ball, and then passed to Cummins in space, who was pretty much unmarked, and it was a simple tap-in from him. So it was a fantastic all round goal. And we kept on playing, which was good to see. We never let up from there, and we got our second goal. I think it was in the 64th minute from Candeias, and it was a great, well worked goal as well. And that's what I've said to a couple of people. See, when he's in the mood, he's absolutely unplayable, and I think he was completely up for the game, certainly in the second half today, and it showed the way we played. And a very telling celebration as well. He celebrated initially, then he ran right up to the dugout and grabbed Andy Halliday, who was on the bench, and got a lot of other players in and celebrated with him. So, and then we almost hit the self-destruct button. It was a poor free kick to give away from Tavernier, and even more poor defending, I felt. It was a simple long ball in, and I think I can't remember if it was a header or a tap, I can't remember, but very poor defending all round. And that was on the 70th minute, so we allowed Hearts back into it, and we did they had a couple of chances but nothing major, and they did come back into the game, but again their final ball was pretty bad as well. So we're quite fortunate the opposition weren't up to much today either. We saw out the game, which was good. Dorrans, I felt, was probably one of the standout players, him and Candeias today. Dorrans was fighting for everything, and he was putting challenges in, which was good to see as well, without doing anything too outstanding, mind you. But I felt that he was one of the better players today, and same with Candeias. He was running up and down that line, and he was putting challenges in. You've seen what it meant to him when he scored the goal as well. And as I said, he's unplayable when he's in that mood, but the problem is he does go in these moods where he just doesn't want to play sometimes. So as I said, it's maybe a player that we maybe want to keep, because he has got something in him, and he's got a lot of potential talent there. Once again, Windass, he came back into the squad after being out injured for the Old Firm game, and he was anonymous. He must have some sort of pictures over Murty or somebody on the board anyway, because he seems to be getting played every time he's fit, and he's doing absolutely nothing. He's sitting, as I said in a couple of previous pods, in no man's land. He's not coming far enough back into midfield to pick up the ball or do anything effective there, and he's not going too far up front, so he's missing out on any loose balls there. He just sits in no man's land, and he doesn't offer really much. He came back into it a wee bit in the second half before he was subbed off, but again, just a waste of a shirt largely. Play him up front as an out and out striker, I think, and that's where you get the best of him. Obviously a bit of controversy where Halliday did come on for him, and he got cheered, but there was a lot of people around me were a wee bit disgruntled that he was coming on. I'm not too sure if it was the fact that Murty was finally making a sub in the game, or the fact that they were disgruntled that Halliday was getting his chance. Certainly I wasn't happy he came on, and that was my reasons for that were given in the last main pod there. One note to mention about Morelos: he started on the bench today, and there's a few videos going around Twitter, and you've seen it, anybody who was in the ground before the kick-off and seen the players training, warming up, he was just not interested at all. That is not the attitude we want for a player. He was just wandering about in the middle of the park by himself with a ball, and he was just turning back round, wasn't even bothered his arse. And he obviously, missed a chance, I think, late on in the game when he did come on in the last 5-10 minutes. And here's one player again, when he wants to play, he can play and he can be deadly. And there's other times he's just far too moody. He's even more moodier than Candeias, I think. So it's something that needs to get stamped out of him. And I've got a feeling that this bid from the Chinese team that came in, I think it was in the region of 8 to 12 million, I think, or whatever. I get the impression it was maybe the board showing off and trying to be Billy Big Bollocks and saying we don't need to, accept massive overinflated offers for these players because we're covered. And that's very poor if it's true. I think most fans would appreciate that we're going to become a selling club to a large extent now, and if you get outlandish offers like that for players that, at the time he was playing very well and scoring every game, we sometimes need to take them, because never mind funding any shortfalls or funding what Caixinha had wasted and spending money, it would have funded a bloody good manager, more the point, so that's a story for another day. Obviously that leaves us sitting again back in second place on goal difference against Aberdeen. Both them and Hibs won yesterday, and we're going into the Old Firm game now, where we need to play a wee bit more like we played today, obviously, with a wee bit more guts, and sometimes you get a wee bit of glory out of it. So hopefully Dave and I will be back with a main pod during the week, and we'll need to see what happens with the Celtic game next week. Again, I don't really fear Celtic as much. I fear for what Rangers team turn up, and that's the big worry. So thanks for listening, and goodbye.